In the mid-19th century, a young Scottish boy stepped onto American soil, his family's hopes resting on his slender shoulders. Little did the world know that this boy, Andrew Carnegie, would one day rise to become one of the wealthiest and most influential men in history. Carnegie's story is not just one of wealth, but of a transformation from a poor immigrant to a steel magnate and, ultimately, a philanthropic giant who changed the world. This is the incredible tale of Andrew Carnegie, a man who redefined success, business, and charity in America. Early life and immigration. Andrew Carnegie was born on November 25, 1835, in Dunfermline, Scotland, into a poor but educated family. His father, William Carnegie, was a weaver. But with the rise of industrialization, traditional hand weaving became obsolete. The family faced severe financial difficulties. In 1848, at the age of 13, Andrew, along with his parents and younger brother, made the difficult decision to emigrate to America, hoping to find better opportunities in the rapidly industrializing nation. The Carnegie family settled in Allegheny, Pennsylvania. Andrew began working almost immediately to help support his family. His first job was as a bobbin boy in a cotton factory, where he worked for 12 hours a day, earning a mere $1.20 per week. Life was tough, but even as a young boy, Carnegie was ambitious. He knew that hard work and learning were the keys to a better future. At night, he would borrow books from a local library opened by a wealthy man named Colonel Anderson, who allowed young boys like Carnegie to borrow books for free. This opportunity fueled Andrew's hunger for knowledge and inspired him to dream beyond his circumstances. Climbing the ladder. Carnegie's break came when he landed a job as a telegraph messenger at the age of 14. Unlike his peers, who saw the job as tedious, Carnegie saw an opportunity. He taught himself to recognize telegraph signals by sound rather than reading them, which made him faster and more efficient than others. His quick learning and diligence caught the eye of Thomas Scott, a top executive at the Pennsylvania Railroad Company. Scott took Carnegie under his wing, and soon, young Andrew became his personal assistant. This mentorship proved to be a turning point in Carnegie's life. Working closely with Scott, he learned the ins and outs of the railroad business, and more importantly, the art of investment. With Scott's guidance, Carnegie made his first smart investment in 1856, buying shares in a company that produced sleeping cars for trains. This small investment yielded significant returns and marked the beginning of Carnegie's journey into the world of wealth. The birth of the Steel Empire. The American Civil War brought both challenges and opportunities for Carnegie. During the war, he helped manage military transportation for the Union, which gave him invaluable experience in logistics and infrastructure. After the war, Carnegie knew that the country would soon enter a phase of massive industrial growth, and he wanted to be part of it. By the 1870s, he had recognized steel's potential as the backbone of industrial America. Railroads, bridges, skyscrapers, all of these would be built with steel. In 1873, Carnegie founded his first steel plant, the Edgar Thomson Steel Works. The timing was perfect. America was expanding and the demand for steel was skyrocketing. Carnegie, always the visionary, adopted the Bessemer process, a revolutionary steel-making technique that significantly reduced the cost of production while increasing the quality of steel. He reinvested his profits back into the business, expanding his operations and acquiring competitors. Over the next 2 decades, Carnegie Steel became the largest and most profitable steel company in the world. Carnegie's success was not just due to his business acumen, but also his philosophy of cutting the costs. He believed in owning every aspect of the production process, from raw materials to transportation, which allowed him to control costs and maximize profits. By the 1890s, Andrew Carnegie had amassed a fortune that placed him among the richest men in America. The Gospel of Wealth. Despite his immense wealth, Carnegie never lost sight of his humble beginnings. In 1889, he penned an essay titled The Gospel of Wealth, where he outlined his belief that the wealthy had a moral obligation to use their riches to improve society. Carnegie argued that instead of passing down wealth to heirs or indulging in extravagance, the rich should invest in public institutions that would enable others to better themselves. This philosophy would define the latter part of Carnegie's life. In 1901, at the age of 66, Carnegie made the decision to sell his steel empire to financier J.P. Morgan for $480 million, equivalent to over $15 billion today. This deal created the U.S. Steel Corporation, the first billion-dollar corporation in history. Carnegie, now one of the richest men in the world, retired from business and turned his full attention to philanthropy and legacy. Carnegie's philanthropic endeavors were as grand as his business ventures. He believed that a man who dies rich dies disgraced, and he was determined not to die with his fortune intact. Over the next 2 decades, he donated the majority of his wealth to causes that he believed would benefit society for generations to come. Libraries were particularly close to his heart, as he credited them with shaping his own self-education. He funded the construction of over 2,500 public libraries across the world, ensuring that future generations would have access to knowledge, just as he had. But Carnegie's philanthropy didn't stop at libraries. He established Carnegie Hall in New York City, one of the most prestigious concert venues in the world, and funded numerous educational institutions, including the Carnegie Institute of Technology, now part of Carnegie Mellon University. He also created the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, reflecting his deep desire to promote peace and avoid the horrors of war. By the time of his death in 1919, Andrew Carnegie had given away over $350 million, equivalent to billions today, making him one of the greatest philanthropists in history. Conclusion. Andrew Carnegie's life is a testament to the power of hard work, vision, and generosity. From a poor Scottish immigrant to a steel tycoon, and finally, a philanthropist who shaped the future of education and culture, Carnegie's legacy continues to inspire. His story reminds us that true success is not measured by wealth alone, but by the impact we leave on the world. Carnegie once said, "The man who dies thus rich dies disgraced." He lived by this principle, and his contributions to society are a lasting reminder of his belief in the power of giving. If you found Andrew Carnegie's story inspiring and want to learn more about the incredible journeys of other millionaires and philanthropists, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, History of Millionaires. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story that could shape your perspective on success and wealth. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more amazing stories.